already.
Good morning. Thank you, those who posted some questions early. Makes it easier to get rolling.
It does.
How's the Texas weather?
It's going to be in the lower 80s today and for the next 4 days. Eat your heart out, Scott.
Jesus.
I know.
Wow.
I know. And it's actually, they had thought it was going to be very cold and wet and all that stuff. And it wasn't.
What have you heard about the vouchers here?
About the voucher what?
Is it going to pass there in Texas?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's all going to. They already passed 10 Commandments and school prayers. So.
Laura posted that. I look quick, and it's still being debated yet. I see, according to the Texas Tribune.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not on Abbott's desk, according to that article.
Well, the thing is, even if it passes, it won't be law till October 1st at the end of this year. You got to understand, Texas has a weird thing. We only have, our legislature is only supposed to stay in session for 100 days a year, the first 100 of the session. Then everything after that has got to be passed by a special session. And they go into a special session, and man, they'll make up special sessions for the fact that Abbott has a bad toenail. So, it's that's kind of where it is with those guys. And I'm sorry, people. A bunch of people posted questions over on my page, and we'll go to those. But
unreal. Abbott threatened it.
Yeah, Abbott. Abbott's one roll away from doing something good.
Oh, Debbie's in Puerto Rico.
Ooh.
Good morning. Enjoy. Awesomeness.
Go before Trump decides he wants to seize that territory. Oh, he already owns that territory, but he doesn't know because he doesn't know what he owns.
Oh, God. Texas. Well, that was like 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to get it in, and it failed.
Oh, yeah. And then all the people that actually what happened was then they went back for primaries, and all the people who supported not doing the vouchers won. But then when they went in, they pulled all kinds of stuff. So they've managed to build their numbers again. But I mean, for reasons other than the obvious ones that you now see in the Texas educational system, my daughter that's 33, we chose to homeschool her when she was little because Bill was semi-retired and she could read when she was 3, and all the schools we took her to said, we can put her in school today, but she'll just be, 3 years behind everybody age-wise. And so we said we didn't like that idea. So we tried homeschooling for a little bit till she could we could figure out where she really was. We couldn't find a private school that wanted to take her. I mean, they said they're brilliant. They said we'd love to take her, but we don't know. Precocious readers are difficult. And so we homeschooled her for 7 years. And I'd had Sean, dear sweet Sean, who's so great with spreadsheets and everything else. He has a really weird form of dyslexia, which they knew was there, but they kept passing him. And I realized when he was 11, he couldn't read a newspaper. And he was very good at hiding the fact he couldn't read. And he couldn't read when he was 16 and moved to Guam with his dad. And the schools I'd get him in the special help that they had at the school. Then his dad would show up and take him out because there's nothing wrong with my boy. And so Sean went to Guam. And when he got to Guam, they test all the kids that come into Guam because they get kids from all over the world. And the school called his dad in and they said, your son's brilliant. When he's verbally dealing with people, he's great. but he can't read proficiently to be in high school. And my ex said to the principal, "Did my goddamn wife get a hold of you?" That's a lie. And they're like looking at the test scores going, "Mm." Anyway, what they didn't talk to him about me, they called Sean in and they said, "Can we get a hold of your mom?" So I got a call from the principal's office at the high school in Guam. And he said, "What do you know about your son's condition?" I said, "I have like 3.5 inches of test results and solutions and resolutions and things that should have been being done." And they said, "Well, send them to us." And it ends up their idea was they put Sean for a period each day in English as a second language. And he learned to read English phonetically. Because when he was a kid, they were teaching whole language, whole word language, which they don't teach anymore. And that's what's wrong. His brain blips out after 4 things. Anyway, long story. He ended up, he went from being functionally illiterate to being ready for college in 2 years. But in the Texas school system, if your kid's caught in that trap, there's nothing they'll do. So.
Yeah, I've seen that Canadians are canceling their United States vacations.
Very good.
And Europe too.
Right?
Yeah, there's like 15 countries that have travel warnings to the United States right now.
I know. They should have had travel warnings when everybody was shooting each other. I couldn't ever figure out why you'd want to leave a place with no guns to come to a place with guns.
I don't know. I tossed a couple cards on the Texas. It doesn't look like it's going to go through that easy if it does.
Well, they've told schools to do things for years they haven't done. Grace, okay, there's a lady who's got a comment. There are resources within the schools, but if you get in a situation like I was in with my ex, they won't help the child. Their first thing is, how can we make the parent happy? And that was my experience. And Sean is 50 years old. And so this information you're hearing is 45 years old. So that's all I can tell you.
Jeff thought it wouldn't pass either again.
Okay.
Anyway.
Hi, Barbara Berkman.
Barbara. Okay. A lot of questions about the El Salvador. I seen El Salvador didn't take a lot of people. He said, well, they're not El Salvador, and they sent them away. I don't know where they went.
Some of them got sent back to their own countries where they came from.
Morning, Ellen. Okay.
Okay, let's see.
It's unbelievable. Judge Boasberg is not happy.
Who?
Judge Boasberg, the one who told
no.
ago. What's gonna happen? It feels like they're gonna be ordered back, but it's gonna be a struggle. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Mm-hmm. And that's why they sent them to El Salvador, which has such a horrible system, and they needed the money. They're paying them. They're spending they're going to cut our Social Security so they can pay for prisoners to be kept in a Central American jail.
Ugh.
I get a strong no, and it's kind of grim.
Yeah, it is grim.
And then I get other countries are going to put so much pressure on El Salvador that they want to send them back. They want to send them somewhere. But I don't see Trump letting them back in.
Yeah, he pops up with that spontaneous action and using ICE
Mm-hmm.
Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, and then him popping in again as the King of Coins.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of judicial order of a Knight of Coins. Some fancy lawyering, and then trying to make decisions. But then in the end, I think there will be a prosperity order. Because I got the Ace of Coins along with the Law in the Queen of Swords. So there might be an order, but it's going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
The difficult transitions, the dark times and heartbreak kind of thing. But I think the order will be that they're illegally transferred there, but the problem is getting it back.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they did it in the dark of night and didn't tell anybody what was coming.
Unfortunately, this is not a good situation.
No. And people are really scared. I went to my teeny tiny little post office that has very little traffic. I was closing my post office box, so don't send anything to it. Not as a protest. It's just I didn't use it. And there were 6 people in line to get into to get their passports, and 2 of them were mothers with babies that they were feeding from a bottle. And it was a really weird conglomeration of humanity that was sitting there. So I'm just telling you, that's the first time I'd seen it. You could tell these folks, they were there getting passports. I found out from one of the clerks, they were there getting passports for their babies to prove their status. So, yeah, Rubio, what about him? What's he think about them sending all the Cubans back? Can they send Rubio back? His family came. They're both people.
I know, right? Good for the goose, right?
Right. I don't understand how anyone in Florida could even ever vote for him. And Cubans that are from that group, they're so loyal Republicans because they're going to treat us fairly, and they're sending their folks off in the boats.
Marco Rubio. I still think he's got a lot of internal conflictions about what's going on.
You couldn't tell that from the one picture in the White House when he was sitting on the couch?
Yeah.
Rubio becomes a cushion.
Then anytime he speaks, his soul is gone off the building. Rubio.
He's not going to leave till he leaves. They'll just keep pushing him further and further. But his out card is the 3 of Swords.
Huh.
He wants to change. He did it to stay in the money flow. Yeah, he's got no good cards. He's got the 6. He's literally booed and shunned every place he goes with people he knows. And he has the 3. He has no one to go back to. And his out card is the 3 of Swords. What you get?
Well, I didn't get no 3 of Swords, but yeah, I think he's struggling right now. So I guess in the past here, he's been towing the line.
Mm-hmm.
With the Knight of Cups. These Page of Swords comes in again with these new, quick, bad actions, and then I get my evaluate card again, which is the internal struggles. What do I do? There's danger ahead. And then I get the Ace of Cups, Eight of Wands with the news, the quick actions, but then I get the internal struggles of the Hermit. And so it's like he's going along, but then when he hears the news, kind of like people are talking about being thrown under the bus or whatever, you know. But then he's like, what do I do? I got to think about this. My senses are off. I'm struggling here with that Hermit. But then in the end, I get him possibly seeking new ideas and clarity with the Ace of Swords, and then I got the Chariot and Knight of Wands. So that's him kind of changing, you know, taking action for himself and not being, you know, such a sycophant.
I just asked if he's going to change, and I got no. I got that he's in it for the money. It's all money. At the end of the day, it's all money.
Let's see. I'll grab one card from another deck randomly. Let's see what it says. Yeah, it's the evaluate card again.
Mm-hmm.
Danger ahead. What do I do? Thinking about things.
Fine. If he gets so locked up in that space he can't move, it'll make it really easy to find him when it's time to get him for war crimes. So.
Yeah, I mean I think he's evaluating every move. I mean,
yeah, but as long as he does it through the lens of money, he's going nowhere.
How about a couple on that? Will Rubio quit? Will Rubio quit? Rubio quit.
I've got that he wants to. He wants to move away from it. But we're back to, but I have no friends in the outside world. This is, he doesn't want to do it.
I get it'll be a bigger disaster if he leaves.
For him, yeah. Well, then he got Trump on his case and the people he already hurt. I mean, pick your poison.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing the heartbreak. Now my Three of Swords comes in. Ace of Wands, that teamwork and energy and power he has. He's heartbroken. And then it's a disaster and failure, anxieties. He does want to walk away, being tied to the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of Cups would represent his honor, his work he'd like to do, but then I got walking away and then the death card. But the end result is like he'd stick in as heartbroken.
Now, Scott, I realize in this time of enlightenment, we're supposed to let go of a lot of our prejudices and try to say not what are they doing to us, but what are they doing for us. But what grown man would go and side with the person who called them Little Marco? I mean, where is there any sense of self or discretion in that?
True.
You know, you gotta, his motivations have got to be bizarre.
Yeah. They're all going to get their karma, Ian. Well,
it's not that. What we need is to let the universe take its place and for us to stand true to our values. This is what happens when people don't stand true to their values. And I mean, if standing true to your values, the best you can do is never order from Amazon again or, boycott all those companies that are on that boycott list. See what you can do. Because we're not getting the thousands and thousands and thousands of people out to our rallies and to hear speeches from our side. those people are there to be empowered and to be taught how to do something. And I read today from a lady who, I don't know where she came from, but she's following me on, I think it's Substack. I can't ever remember those symbols anymore. But she was saying she writes her 5 letters a day. She makes her phone calls. She's doing her stuff. She makes a point of going to the post office to get Ruth Bader Ginsburg stamps to put on the letters she's sending in, just so that they'll know before they even open them where her heart is. And she lives in a very red area, kind of like where I do, but probably further out. And she said when she ordered the Ruth Bader Ginsburg, when she went up to the counter and ordered them from the postal man who looked so defeated and was so tired, and she said, "I want Ruth Bader Ginsburg stamps," his whole face lit up. And he goes, "You're one of us." I really feel like I'm watching some World War II movie about who's not with the Nazis.
Pretty much.
And you've got your election coming up, though. That's going to be a bellwether one.
I hear there's another Supreme Court. You don't really hear about it. It might be Pennsylvania.
I don't know. Sean's not in that one.
I know, but I heard there's another Supreme Court state going on too, but no one talks about it. So this is a big thing that happened here Saturday, I think, Friday night. U.S. Attorney Jessica Aber was nominated to be the assistant by Joe Biden in 2021. The Senate confirmed her. And after 45 was sworn in, she stepped down. Yeah, she was fired anyway. And no report yet, but she was found deceased in her house, hotel, or whatever, apartment, whatever. So there's been conspiracy theories all over the internet.
Okay.
What happened this young? She prosecuted a lot of bad things.
Yes, they're involved. For entertainment purposes only, and I don't know who. They viewed her as a very bad actor. She had information. She had very powerful information that had it come out against them, it would have hurt them financially. And she was herself intemperate about who knew about it. And so they wanted to make sure the fool reversed. She had nowhere to go with it. Did she fall out a window?
No, they just.
Oh, well then.
They just found her in her apartment. In the past, I guess she was quite a star at work. Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, the star.
Mm-hmm.
She was quite a celebrated attorney. And then I get Wheel of Fortune, World, and Queen of Wands in the current. Completion of phases, the world, new opportunities, and I think this means that she had it all. I mean, she was a very good person, prosecutor. Leading up to it, Hangman, 7 of Swords, and 7 of Cups. Definitely, there was some hanky-panky there with those 3.
And she wasn't killed because of what she knew about Trump. She was killed about something she knew about people around Trump, and it's all men.
Ace of Swords in the end, the double-edged sword, the Ace of Wands, new beginnings, 3 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands. Those aren't actually death cards, but it could relate to something else. Knowing truth and facts, and 3 of Pentacles is working on something else.
She left paperwork with a dark-haired gentleman that's going to come to light.
And bottom of the deck, Five of Cups
Yeah.
loss.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there is a connection. And most of this card toss is all about how great a person she was and to the rule of law and celebrated. But yeah, those three together are really bad.
Yeah.
As far as something bad went down.
These are the people who are responsible for her death. They're the end of her reading. The King of Swords reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Knight of Wands reversed. And her in card was she was very well protected by someone for a long time, but then there was some indecision about how to handle what she knew. They're going to have a bigger blowback by having killed her because then it's going to come through from that. I'm sorry for her family for her loss.
Truly. So sad. Okay. So
Are these the Florida elections? Yes.
Yep.
I'm going to do one line for the first one and one line for the second.
Okay. Gates's old seat is Gabe Valmont and Jimmy Petronis.
Mm-hmm.
And Walsh's seat is Joshua Well and Randy Fine. Okay. How do I want to do this? Okay. Joshua Well.
Joshua Well, I got's a win, and not just a little win. That's his out card.
Ooh, nice.
This is how he's won. He's fought the devil. All the other cards are all positive. He's made his own space. What'd you get?
The devil.
He's made his own space. He worked for a long time to get to this point. And it's the Seven of Swords. So yeah, they're going to try to steal it from him, but there's a lot of stuff looking at that the Republicans can't control. Let me see what I got for Gay. I got Gay 5 yeses. Well, don't go by me because I thought we'd have the Senate too, guys. So I'm going to warn you right now. I was talking to somebody, another reader. We were talking about what it was like after the last election. And as I pointed out to him, we're not everybody's wish wizard. And, I'm not so sure how much my mind doesn't pull the cards where they need to be. But this is the Gay Belmont is the King of Swords. She built a strong campaign. She's had some money show up at the very end. She's got the 2 knights too. She's got the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands, and it means she's moving from where she's been. So that's, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You don't have to come look at my cute little memes. And did you like my bad Doge sign?
Right now, I get the devil with Joshua Well.
Yeah, I got him too.
So that's somewhat of a bad card. It can be, but I get no real bad cards except for the Page of Swords for Randy Fine. I get the Lovers, 3 of Wands, and Page of Swords. So with 3 cards only, Randy Fine has better cards. So tough when they're Republicans districts. You're amazing how quick you can get those cards out, though.
I've been doing it since I was 12. I do it in my sleep.
Evelyn said People are not happy in Florida.
No, they're not.
Okay. 3 cards for
Take away the only hurricane hope they have. Take it away. See how happy.
Three cards for gay, 6 of swords, potato ones, 5 of swords. That's a loss. How about Jimmy? 2. I think she was the one that ran against Gates last time. That gave Alamont. So she's the name.
I have no idea.
4 of swords, Queen of Pentacles, and 5 of Cups. I got them both losing.
Well, you know, if you win and you're going into this legislature, you could be losing. My wins were, I didn't ask about the Republicans because I figure if it's a yes/no question overall, and then I focused on that name, that's why I chose the way I did. But we'll see. In case you guys haven't figured it out, Scott and I don't get a lot together in between weeks, so we don't know what's going on. I know what's going on in Wisconsin, though. It's interesting.
You talk to your son often?
About every other day. He's going to be moving into the South immediately after being in Wisconsin. He said, I'm going to miss the beer and the cheese.
Oh, thank you, Carrie. Okay, go back to that. Check on this again. Susan Crawford or the Republican?
Okay.
The name who I shall not speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Gates's old district is super, super red.
It's also full of military people. It's one of the high end. The military's pissed as hell. I've talked to a retired friend of mine.
I hope so.
He's retired military intelligence, and he doesn't like Republicans anyway. But he said even the ones he used to fight with about it all the time, they're coming over and saying, "What can I do?"
Oh, I hope so. Oh, most of my military veteran friends on Facebook are just crazy. No common sense at all. Yes, Jeff. Elon's throwing $100 bills at people to sign up. I get yes. The Democrat will win.
Yeah, I got yes, the Democrat will win.
10 of Cups, Queen of Swords, and 7 of Pentacles get the votes.
Mm-hmm. And they're getting it out of places the Republicans don't expect. I got that people view her as a real judge, someone that ought to be part of the system. And though they've tried to emphasize, oh, she's weak, she's a woman, that's not working. They can say it different ways, but they're just trying to say, you don't want a woman making decisions about your life. There's been an influx of money, and I don't know that from Sean. I would not hear from that. And
go ahead, sorry.
It's because people are disheartened and they don't like what they're seeing. And it's a real last-minute surge for
her. I spoke about my military veteran friends. Lisa Foster was in the comments last fall.
Oh.
She knows how crazy
She's
they are.
Lisa, you're such a nice lady. Why would you go play with those people?
Oh, she tried. She tried in the Facebook comments.
You know, I had a friend who he fought in not only World War II, but he was just young enough. He got sucked into Korea. And he was a volunteer of mine when I was running my first big volunteer group for public broadcasting. And Joe would get to points and I'd say, Joe, your mind's just closed on that subject. And he'd turn around and he'd look at me with the steeliest eyes. He said, it's my mind and I can close it when I want. And that's how I think a lot of these people are. It's their mind. They can close it when they want. And nothing I'm going to say is going to change it for them.
Liz said, egg news. Turkey and South Korea is going to send us some eggs.
They may need to, since we're doing nothing to treat the bird flu. It's now in the wild bird population. They're up. They cut the guys that were trying to protect the condors from it, and volunteer vets went up there to try and help with this is going to be heartbreaking for me, guys. I eat keto. I eat eggs all the time.
I don't sense it really shifting much. I mean, the cost of transporting that far is going to raise the price. A buck.
At one point they used to load chickens up on airplanes, send them to China, have them slaughtered and pieced in China and sent back. And I was like, how can that be cheaper than leaving them in Arkansas? I mean, really?
Restricted, SARS, news. These cars don't show it doing a huge dent.
Yeah, my cards don't.
It's
My
more.
cards show it's kind of a lie. They're trying to make us focus on what we don't have instead of what we do have.
That's what I got. Page of Wands lies.
Mm-hmm. Lies.
45 is going to be screaming, or one of his cabinet members with a King of Swords going to be on the news, spewing lies. I don't see a big dent from that help. Oh, I know I miss my chickens. I ask Nancy all the time, okay, can we get chickens now? In town, we're allowed to have 3 chickens, backyard chickens, but my Nancy keeps saying, nope, we're not having chickens. I miss my chickens.
I understand they can be very endearing. I've never had a chicken. I've never had a bird of any kind.
Good.
My mother had a parakeet that lasted 1 week in the house with the 5 of us, and it had nervous breakdown.
Grandma, in local news, they said they're sending eggs from Turkey here to Texas. Well, I hope it helps, but I know it's still going to be up.
I don't know. I'm getting my eggs from the markets. I always get them. The prices have remained incredibly stable, and they're all, free range. So, and they tell you which farms they come from. So, or do you guys not have, well, I guess you don't in the winter, open markets. I was going to say, don't you have open markets where you can go buy food? I could see why that would not happen in Wisconsin in the winter, but here we do, and you can go down and you can meet the egg farmer. So,
Okay, didn't Carrie? Oh, Carrie gave us a donation, and she would like Ivanka future card reading. Okay, what is? Oh, I seen a meme with 45's eldest children on there, and underneath it was DEI. Don, Eric, Ivanka.
Yeah, well, we could do with a little. They want to if they want to export people who have foreign parents. Start there.
People are smuggling eggs from Mexico. Yeah, aren't they all on tariffs? You've got tariffs in every country.
That's going to hurt me. That's where all my avocados come from. And right now, my last little packet of blueberries was from Mexico. And it was a reasonable price. And I like blueberries. They're going to kill me by starving me to death.
Grace Gilbert goes, my grandson got 3 chicks from school. My daughter has turned them into some kind of pet. Now she won't eat her chicken eggs. Oh, funny.
Well, there's an abortion rights activist in the making. Oh, it's not looking good for Ivanka.
What is Ivanka's future? Tell me about it.
She's got her. She knows where things ought to be, but she can't get it. This is my housewife's tarot. I thought this was appropriate for Ivanka.
Like that.
Six of Wands. She's got all the tools, but she's not. With the way this one reads, they're all standing on the outside and they're like, "What? I don't know how to work all this stuff." She has no temperance at all, at all, at all. And temperance in this is like, it's like life is like a cake mix, and you have to mix the anger and the joy and everything. Well, she always wants everything to be beautiful. And that's not working out so good with her. And guess who's in the middle? Jared.
Yeah.
Jared's not looking so good in this picture.
It is so funny. As soon as he said temperance, it dropped for me.
Oh, good. Okay.
Right when you said temperance, that was the card that fell on. It's like, that's funny.
And it's because of their attachments to her father. And her father being reversed. And she's always has to be in control, and she's out of control. She has to make a decision. She's going to have to make some really important ethical decisions. And I think it's either sell out Jared or sell out her father. And if I were her, as slimy as I think Jared the nude is, I'd go with Jared. And
Like
I'd take my bazillions from the Arabs and get the hell out of the U.S. before people figure out what that money really bought them.
From her standards, I get she had a downfall from Grace being in the first administration and afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That the Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, and the Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Her business and her prosperity fell. You know, the failure with the Devil and the trying to put up boundaries
Mm-hmm.
from him. But let's see what next. Current energy is kind of staying out of the limelight a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
High Priestess, Four of Swords, Knight of Swords. So it feels like there's a lot of negative powers yet against her. The High Priestess would be like trying to manifest her future better, whatever. It's kind of crazy, but they have plenty of cash, right? Then the Temperance comes in. So I guess that would be her being the Queen of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Temperance is kind of like the waiting process, trying to balance things, find her purpose. But there's still petty bickering and problems with Five of Wands.
Well, she lives in the family she lives in.
True. On the bottom of the deck, I have carrying a lot of heavy burdens. Her outcome is strength. So somehow she's standing on her feet. Six of Cups. It's returning to home, but it's like I'm feeling like not going back to the way things were. Eight of Pentacles. It's working on bigger craftsmanship, greater things than the Ace of Wands, a new cycle. And her ending seems like she's going to leave everything from the past behind and move forward after all said and done.
Well, I guess it depends on how Daddy ends.
Right. I feel so what I'm feeling here, like after he's gone, after he craziness, whatever, and she moves on, you know, possible leaving Jared behind, she'll create her own future.
Yeah, well, she spent her whole life trying to build her life off the men that are around her, and look at the men who've been around her. You know?
Yeah. I always think she's, you know, truly does care for her children and want the best for them and keep them.
Maybe she'll go to an elocution coach and learn how to speak.
Wait, she spent years to perfect that.
Her breathy little girl voice.
Yeah. She probably took classes to learn that.
No, she's trying to talk like Jackie Kennedy.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, we did that.
Yeah, from what I understand, behind closed doors, she swears like a sailor, and you can hear her 10 miles away. So
That's what Noel Castler said. She swears like a trucker.
mm-hmm.
I think you may be right, Debbie. There's something off about that man.
He's autistic. He's a high functioning autistic, and don't pick on people like that. I think he's been raised to be a monster by a monster mother, but you had something up that we were going to ask. Okay.
Yeah. So a bunch of more active or protests are going on.
On the 5th, if you don't know about it and you don't know where one's in your area, you can go to 5051.com, and that's the number 50501.com. They have a lot of lists of them, and also Indivisible. And I happen to think the people behind Indivisible are brilliant. And when Indivisible started in 2017, I helped 3 different groups get started so that they looked. I helped them find an artist to do their logos so they look like they're real. They're all still going, and they're big actors in this area. And Indivisible is based on the idea that everybody can be there. I mean, I'm sure red hats don't want to show up, but I think they've done some really interesting work. But the guys who set it up worked in government, and they knew how you can get through. And that's what the deal is about 5 calls a day and the letters and stuff. They say they don't pay attention to that, but their staffers do. They may say, I know nothing about that. That's because they told their staff, don't tell me about that. You know? So those 2 organizations are big. And then if you have a local, if you don't mind dealing in party politics, check with your local Democrats and see what they're doing. But that's April 5th. I may go out to that, Scott. That's
Good morning, Lucretia.
Oh dear. Yes, he will. Because something shady's happening here. They're not supporting him. And he doesn't want them to feel safe on the streets to protest against him. They're doing it because they're really worried about the long-term future and even the short-term future of any of their plans if people really get organized. The good card for us on that one is they don't have the power to really bring it off. And it's not going to interest the people. Jail us and see how much more angry people get. They're hoping they can put people into fear.
Yeah. He definitely would if it, rises to the level of, violence.
Mm-hmm.
That is the plan. What I get here in the past, this is the plan, but I sense here like the word is getting out though not to be violent. And that will show the protection, the strength and the angels and the truth. And then doing the good work and the Queen of Wands in a strategic way, and don't go back to the past of any kind of violence with these 3. So definitely that is the plan. But if you're smart about it, there's nothing you do about it. Just because you're standing there with signs and whatnot, there's no recourse. Just don't have that 10 of Swords moment and you'll be fine. I think there is a plan in the works with the bottom of the Page of Swords to do so. but it's all how you act. I seen that even with all the nonsense about Teslas, burning and whatnot, which I don't think there's Democrats out there purposely doing it. Elon's probably doing it himself to collect money and have some kind of insurance go on or something. But there's even talk about that. It's like, if you're going to protest Tesla, do not do it in a violent way, because you will have repercussions to you.
Well, what's the deal about they recalled all the trucks because the panels were falling off on the road?
They're glued. They're glued together.
What I saw is, I said the demonstrators won't be violent, but will there be people there trying to make them violent? Yes. There are people going to show up and they're going to, damn, this place sucks. They don't like it at all. But they're not going to be able to bring the power on to do that, but they want to win or lose. They want to win no matter what it takes. And their out card is, it's not going to be terribly successful, because it's the reverse of the Page of Cups, the development of affection. It's reversed. I think that people are going to be wary about them, and they're not going to be able to fit in. It's not going to be able to run down the streets like during George Floyd and start buildings on fire and then find out it was really neo-Nazis who did it. Do we want to answer this?
Oh, it was a question. I seen the question mark. So Trump once said, all it will take is one really bloody day and everyone will fall in line. It sure seems like he wants violence to happen. So if the violence happens, then he can declare martial law, kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get power, like Hitler did or whoever, right?
Crystal knocked. It's not going to happen. I showed that they're even hanged on figuring out how to make it happen. They're not going to be able to get people to turn on each other that way. They're not going to have the opportunity to do it, but they're going to try. They're going to try to do some shady things to make it happen, but the higher minds of people will prevail. I think even if there was a bloody day, it would just make most people more angrier. He already tore up the street in DC. He just didn't paint over that sign they painted on the street. He tore the whole frigging street up and put down whole new pavement. From the George Floyd thing?
Yeah. I don't see it happening. I'm getting cards of like the Four of Swords, Hangman,
Mm-hmm.
Two of Coins, Swords, kind of like your choices, and so but it's within strength. So I think there'd be like folks that don't rise to the level of going crazy on this. So I think there's going to be a resolved spirit that holds back before getting too violent. Doesn't feel like it's going to go that way. Kind of like an intervention, enter into the spirit to not go crazy, to make that kind of situation happen. Four of Cups would be evaluating. Six of Coins, making things proper, not going all out. Six of Cups is things that have happened in the past. I think Two of Cups is joining together as one and not going all out. So I think people are more
savvy than that. They're
Yeah,
not going to
more savvy than being use your voice, not your fist kind of thing. True, Ruth. His words are being hateful, getting people angry, and when you get too angry, that's what makes the violence happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like their plan. I think you got that right. Classic dictator.
Who just watched what happened to the last one before him, Duarte, who ended up being picked up in an airport, and now he's in The Hague.
Who is?
Duarte, the president of the Philippines, he got picked up in an airport, and he's now in The Hague for war crimes.
Hey, excellent.
Yeah, they all went nuts at the White House that week. It was over a week ago.
I think I did see something about that. Yeah. Yeah, Indigo said everything's been peaceful so far with the protests.
Mm-hmm. And the big rallies, and the AOC and Bernie rallies.
Debbie said, "Can we send Trump to The Hague?" I wish it was that easy.
He should be in The Hague, and they've got the proof he should be in The Hague.
So a news organization, France 24, is saying Israel is on the verge of civil war. 75% want being out of control. Benjamin Netanyahu ignoring the court's ruling. Yeah, it's quite a situation over there.
Mm-hmm.
There was some court rulings going on. Netanyahu fired someone or a group, and briefly what I remember. And the court is saying, no, you have to put them all back, kind of like what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My question is going to be what's going to happen with the power struggle in Israel. I think there's a lot going on because they ignored the ceasefire and hurt a bunch of people again. Israel did.
Yeah, but I don't think there's going to be a civil war. I do see death, which is the ending of something, and I think it's Benjamin Netanyahu.
Right.
And I wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of a country that was a civil war, considering that every adult that lives in that country has been taught how to shoot a gun. This is... And I don't blame them. I mean, they're tired of having a man who's not lived up to anything he said he'd do. Sort of like here.
Okay. The law, yeah, I get a death card, an ending of something.
I think it's the ending of Benjamin.
There's a loss, plenty of protests, things getting better. So it looks like the law with the King of Swords, prosecutors, whoever, ignoring the court. Yeah, there's a victory there, and then a loss for someone. And then I got decisions evaluating. It could take a time because I got the 5 of Wands there with lack of energy, but then I had the death card.
Mm-hmm. So
there is going to be an end. And then that Page of Wands, that feels like protesting, speaking out. 6 of Swords, things get better. And then the Queen of Wands, a more definitive, caring leader would be speaking out, being determined. So I think there's an ending coming to this.
Bye-bye, Benjamin.
Yeah, bomb the deck, I got better things coming. angels in the universe come to help. This is a long time coming with this craziness. He's been defying courts forever to stay in power, hurting innocent people. God, this world, the world sucks.
Parts of it do, and we need to figure out how we can.
Oh, good morning, Crondon, ladies. Or lady, whichever one is controlling that account right now. Okay.
I just pasted 3 questions from my comments. They kind of parallel other questions that were in my comments.
Okay, they popped up. During the next 3 months, will we see long lines, waiting rooms, full people, Social Security offices? Yeah, another struggle. Which deck wants to tackle it? Okay, there's yeah. God. Elon's dead set on axing Social Security, firing people. Okay.
That's a real unifier to the generations, though, because they act Social Security, and then parents get to go live with their kids instead of the other way around.
And underage kids with the death survivor thing.
Oh, I know.
Lose money too. What's going on?
This is why it doesn't get that far. Too many people. This will bring the Republicans out of the woodwork. That been following him blindly. That's faith, and that's the hierophant. It's little. They don't want little people. It says, no, the Republicans understand where this comes from. It's so imbalanced, and they're gonna try to pull it swiftly. But I think this is where the legislature finally stands up, and for those for whom it's appropriate, they have the anatomy of balls. So,
anatomy of balls?
Yes, I can't ask AOC to grow a pair. It doesn't work.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of neat. In the past, I get this was our security. It's ours. Right? 6 of swords, 9 of coins, and 4 of coins. It's supposed to be there and secure. This is our security, right? That makes sense. So it's good to see those cards drop, showing the past. Current energy is the world, Page of Cups, and the Hermit. We aren't taking it. People are not taking it. This is ours. Moving forward, 3 of Cups, Page of Coins, and the Knight of Swords. People will stand up. People will get angry. They're hearing it. Outcome, long lines or whatnot. 3 of Wands, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups, and Page of Swords. Social Security will be secure. According to this, it'll be secure. Will some people have issues? Yes. Everything's great except for this Page of Swords. Some people will have some issues. It will be secure. It will be there for us.
And they're going to hit the Republican southern states the worst because I think they're the easiest to cow. But I don't think that's going to help them. I think that's going to make people angrier. Although I do agree with the I watched African woman did a thing on, it was a short of some sort. But she said, we've done the hard work getting us to a point where we can rebel. Go sit down. Don't put yourself in the target. And I agree with her. Don't put yourself in the line of the target. If you know, but that's where they're going to try to hit, is those communities that are, but that's when the Republican legislators, we've had legislators that I don't think people even knew where their district offices were that are being picketed every day. So, and you just don't hear about it much because Sinclair News says the price of eggs went up because Democrats didn't handle things right.
Sure. Gotta love those fools. Yeah, the ending, I had that 3 of Wands, and that kind of looks like you're going to have to seek help. There are some people struggling with that woman with a little blood on her. Got to seek help, but it shows a calming resolve there with that, though, too. But according to this, my senses, the GOP is not willing to burn down yours or grandma and grandpa's and people's Social Security to lose everything.
And, you know, they're really secured by the Republicans' own greed. Every time they tried to vote to upgrade the systems at Social Security or the IRS, the Republicans voted against it. So therefore, Alon's little darlings that he's sending in, they're all cloud-based computer engineers. They're trying to stop mainframes, and they don't know how they, I mean, theoretically, they know how they work, but they don't know if they're really stopped or not. I'm laughing because I work on mainframes and I don't understand the cloud, but I know that turning off a major computer system is not what these little dits think it is.
I guess I can say something. So my Nancy works a lot of payroll and travel stuff at the VA, right? So she had to get her this Friday would get all the requests in and any overtime possible or everything in for everyone to get paid next Thursday. When she got into work, the system was down. Never been down.
They're trying to break it.
So she was all worried and she was freaking out. Her bosses don't know what the heck's going on. Something happened to the payroll system in the whole VA. So somehow they got in and set it to emergency mode, which means everyone will get paid their permanent status basis. You know, then my Nancy's going to have to bust her butt when the system actually comes back to clear everything up to get the money that they're owed. So like if say there's a conference or something somewhere, you know, she would organize the travel and per diem for a doctor to go to a conference or whatever, you know. And, you know, in the federal system, everyone's on a salary scale, you know, and you get set up and whatnot. Right? If you do work over, I mean, there's people picking up overtime in the ER or wherever that have the qualifications to make extra money and help because they are staffed. So like her one friend that helps her in that office is also a nurse and she's been getting overtime in the ER. So she's not going to get her overtime this week because the system is down. And it's never been down. It's crazy.
They're trying to break it.
Talking about what's going on at work. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nancy. That's a horrible mess.
I know. It's a complete mess. This is Nancy.
Yeah.
And everyone else. You want to say hey?
Hi. Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
You have my sympathies, but all I can tell you is the people who really know how your system runs, they've taken all the stuff they need to secure. It's off somewhere else where these guys will never find it.
Sure hope so. It's scary. It's really
I
scary.
know.
Yeah. All right.
It's like when YouTube comes down. Like YouTube, it's like this thing out there, you know, and it runs parts of our lives we don't want it running, but
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, my sympathy. My father was a doctor, and I know how hospital systems are, and they already live on the edge of a shoestring as far as staying together.
Mm-hmm.
And I can imagine the VA is much the same.
Yeah, it's pretty bad there right now with morale and everything else.
Oh, I can't imagine why your morale's down.
Yeah, yeah, I know. All right. Well, nice to see you.
Lovely to see you. We hear you wrestling in the background sometimes.
I'm always back doing laundry or something and listening to him. So,
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good day. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you. That was unexpected. I didn't think she would.
Yeah, they should come on.
She's usually shy. Okay. Where else we at? Oh. Okay.
Well, it was his lawyers that are really outrageous eventually be disbarred, or they're not going to get disbarred tomorrow.
So yeah, like Boasberg has plenty of options for contempt and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with 45, no. What's gonna happen with lawyers, or even, even his security or secretaries? Anyone doing this could.
I asked if they're going to be disbarred, and yes, they will be eventually. But right now, they're in it for the money. They don't care what kind of judgment they pull down on their head. They have a certain goal that they're supposed to carry, but it's the 10 of Wands. And for those of you who don't know the whole history of the imagery of the 10 of Wands, it's a very, very heavy load that you eventually have to uncarry. And the person that's at the base of it is the King of Coins, Trump. So, yeah, they're going to go along with the Kraken and Rudy.
Eventually. Currently, it feels like they're, ignoring orders and whatnot. Because the Knight of Coins always feels like that honor in order, something, coming down. And then I got 5 of Wands and 5 of Coins. And so here we got the struggles not going properly, and then letting a lack of, the judge is like, you're not doing what we're doing. So this is like that chaos going on right now. So then here we got a judge, possibly Boasberg, whoever. He's the man of the plan. He's got the protection. He's got the orders. And then I got a tower. There's going to be a failure there, one way or the other. There's going to be a drastic change that comes down. And there will be a change within government somehow. Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, and Page of Swords. So I think they will do what they need to do to a lower level person.
Mm-hmm.
Will get this change. If they defy orders, yes, they will go after what needs to be done. But yeah, eventually you will be, everything Trump touches dies. You do things wrong, eventually it'll catch up to you, like you said, with the Kraken and Rudy and everyone else. you will lose. Judges do have authority, so I think they will get theirs. Are these the White House lawyers?
No,
Not all of them, but
no, they're
but like,
coordinating.
but like, who's that one dude that's the assistant attorney general that was his lawyer for in Manhattan that they lost? He's
All those names are irrelevant. I mean, to me, if someone said, "Hey, can I do some legal work for you?" I'd probably look them up.
right. But I mean, they're getting shellacked wherever they go, and but even he doesn't have protection. Even the attorney general doesn't have protection. Only 45 has immunity. You know, I don't think they're going to go through the jugular, but you know,
They
you
did in
go
Watergate. They
not
did in Watergate.
not Emil Volk, the other guy, or maybe he's the White House counsel. I can't remember. Anyway, what were you saying? Sorry.
I said the lawyers that helped with Watergate. That's how all of them got hit. Was they got jailed and they lost their licenses. Even Spiro Agnew ended up working as a salesman for some company.
Yeah, unfortunately, never got that far because 45 stole an election, and
I agree.
I gotta go back. I didn't star them. Your questions. Okay. Okay, we're at 116. What is Kash Patel up to? I haven't heard anything about him and some other appointees except head south. Okay. He's been kind of quiet except for wanting to set up his office in Las Vegas. He doesn't want to drive to work. He lives in Vegas and he wants to stay in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I don't know if I have a deck that wants to tackle him.
Well, I'm going to do life as a board game since he's in Vegas.
Oh, Liz, that's one guy definitely I could see a judge going after.
Who, Kash?
Tom Homan. The guy he's the one directing ICE, whatever. He's like the
Oh God, yeah, the one who looks like he graduated from Bully U. Yeah.
He's a deportation guy. He's always on Fox News lying his butt off, you know.
Oh God, the first two cards I pulled for Kash. Yeah. He's holding tight. He lives an indecision way. He's hoping to ride out the wheel of fortune. He's in a balancing act. And he lives for his few moments of glory, but nothing else. So that's what's going on with Kash. That's his headlines.
Devil. He started off as doing the devil's work when he got in there. Thinks he has strength and resources. So, but I get the devil in there. So he wasn't in there for the right reasons. But then he's doing some traveling. And actually talking to some lawyers or whatnot. Because I got King of Swords and Queen of Swords next to each other along with, the chariot, either traveling or taking charge. But it feels like movement.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get doing some new orders with a page of coins, justice, and the sun. So right now, it doesn't feel like he's just dismantling the FBI.
No, you can't. You know what he found out? They think he's a silly little boy, and they sent him away.
It feels like he's trying to reorganize, and there's actually a balancing going on. I don't
Well, they
think.
may have told him what files they had on him, and come after me and see how I get you. That's how J. Edgar Hoover survived forever.
These are saying he has no real control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what he thought he could do, he couldn't. Like there's enough pushback or something. I guess that Yahoo Bungino finally quit podcasting and joined. I don't see him doing bad work. I have seen every once in a while some notices from FBI offices or whatever making arrests and whatnot. So it seems like he's still doing the work. I think it's just 45 talking that he's going after political enemies.
Mm-hmm.
I think his secretaries spend more time on Fox News than actually working.
Well, Ted Cruz spends more time on his podcast than anywhere else. If you want to find somebody asked in here, where's Ted Cruz? I don't know. Go listen to his podcast because he's not doing anything here.
Okay. YT Social popped in, asked a question.
Okay.
Is Germany leaving the EU?
No.
Are the Balkan countries in Europe coming out of NATO this year?
No.
No, I don't see Germany leaving.
Germany's having a turn. We're just not hearing about it as much, but they're having a turn on there where they're looking at things. And they did it. They did the right thing. Was it over a year ago that they just went in? They went in the buildings in their government buildings and pulled out the Nazis that were trying to take over there and jailed them.
Yeah. 3 cards for Germany leaving EU? No.
No.
King of Wands, Sun, Page of Cups. That's all right in the middle of everything good. Staying strong. The Sun technically is the best card in the deck. Are the Balkan countries in Europe coming out of NATO?
Are they in? They're not in NATO. Are they in NATO?
I'm not even sure about what that means. Balkans, I don't know. If they're coming out or joining or...
Are they screwing with NATO? Okay, let's see. I know how to answer that question because I have a friend who has an apartment in Estonia.
Ian said 100% no.
Yeah, I ask Ian. He's a lot closer to him than we are.
Well, that's good news, Carrie, about Cash.
What?
Hungary is in NATO. Yeah.
It's been since 2004. No, they're not coming out. Trust me. My friend who goes over to visit all the time, he sent me the funniest coffee cup from there. It was a picture of Trump and Putin kissing, but it's no. Those people are diehard. No, they're not going there.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Hungary and the surrounding countries are called the Balkans. Okay. I get a lot of protection. Mm-hmm. Everyone there is united, probably because of Putin's advances in Ukraine.
Yeah, and in Hungary Hungary's not was Turkey that's Orban, and they're having massive demonstrations against him.
And Hungary is that's another dictator Yahoo.
You know, the guy that used to be was one of the Trump people, and he used to say "Good evening." He sounded like Dracula. He's Hungarian, and he's been over there and doing nothing.
Kash Patel's that yappy little snarling Chihuahua dog that bite you in the ankles and go on the couch. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia are in NATO, and they are not coming out.
That's right.
Oh yeah, Orban, Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
People are generally free, but Orban's a dictator. Okay, you had another one.
I did. I had 3 of them in a row.
We did that. Lutnick. The dude's always on Fox News too. Spewing nonsense.
Is he the one we're supposed to not like because of Social Security?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, he's not going
to. He's very wealthy, and he's saying if my grandma, she would be fine with not getting her Social Security on time.
Well, then don't send her check and send me her check.
Good. Okay. Those who yell, complain the loudest are the ones committing the fraud. Probably. Kind of pressure. To me, he feels like he's in his own little bubble.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a yap dog.
That's all they are. They're just there because if we're looking at them, we're not looking at how bad Trump's doing, how nothing he's saying he's going to do comes through. I mean, that was the deal about sending people to El Salvador, and now what was it, the proclamation they're going to send they're pulling the papers on close to 600,000 people who are here on different kinds of visas and things. They're destroying they're destroying a lot of universities. Where my daughter works, they've told everyone not to travel. They've said, don't leave the country.
Oh God, Republicans. What? With COVID, it was like, let grandma die now in 2025 with Lutnick.
Grandma's, we're the most powerful group in the world. The ladies who can't walk and, need their blood pressure meds and stuff.
Oh, these people got to wake up that Republicans don't care. Grandma's a fraudster. That is so good, Cece.
Thank you, Cece.
I like that. Thank you, Jennifer. Bless. Does Germany have vital information about Musk and the U.S. election interference that will share the world effectively? Okay. Does Germany have some intelligence? I'm gonna think about
and I'm going to ask if they have the intelligence and if they're going to share it. 2 different questions. Thank you, Jennifer.
Does Germany have intelligence about Musk? I'm sorry.
What are you laughing about now?
Comments about grandma's a con man and grandma's a fraudster for getting her Social Security. Oh my God, that's funny.
I don't see Germany right now helping us. They have some information. They don't have all of it. They're still working on getting it together. And I don't see them handing it over. I mean, it's 50-50 either way.
What I was told in my mind is that we have our own information.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not being released because of who's in charge. You remember the executive order that CISA was supposed to look into our elections and have a report? Like I said, we have our own information. It's just not being released. But Germany, They have their own burdens and responsibilities. That's what the cards are telling me so far. Germany, they understand the flow of money, the flow of information with the lovers and who Musk is attracted to. The world and Five of Wands. So Musk is involved with Russia and the disinformation worldwide. They understand that, who he's connected to. Mother Russia, the strifes and arguments with the Five of Swords and the Hangman. Suspension of activities. And then Temperance, Ten of Wands, Four of Wands. I mean, that's what I'm sensing with, they have their own issues to deal with. So I'm not getting Pentacles. You know, if you would have information coming to the United States, I would be seeing Pentacles. That's the tangibility, whatnot. But Musk is a danger worldwide. I think most governments understand that, who he's aligned with. I just sense all this protection for self. You know, it's not like other countries or other organizations that are here to save the United States. We got to save ourselves. And like I said, I sense that we have our own information of what happened. It's just not being released. Oh, yeah. This will be the last one. I remember that in starred comments about Anonymous.
Okay.
So supposedly the Anonymous group.
Yeah, Anonymous is a group. It's not a guy.
Yeah, there's a multiple Anonymous groups. They do have a section where you can get email updates or something. I find the email kind of right wing. I signed up for notifications or whatever. Every once in a while, maybe once a week, they send an email, and it's kind of weird and right wing.
I'm going to ask if Anonymous is right wing. It could be something they set up. I mean, it's awfully clever of them to do that.
Anyway, they're claiming their these on social media posts or whatnot. They're claiming that they're going to send information about the election being stolen or Elon Musk or whatever. Okay, what is Anonymous going to do? Good morning, Terry. Holding your space.
I got they're not going to release the information that they have, and they have money that came into them to start them. That's part of the right wing now. So,
Cece says Anonymous official is right wing. Anonymous Central is the original.
yeah, because see, I mean, they tell us we think we have groups that are our groups, but as far as I'm concerned, anybody, it's like when people march in our marches right now, and no one's supporting us, they're there. You can see their face. You can see who they are. You can see what's going on. Trump's people, when they show up, they're still all bandanaed and hidden. And what the hell? I mean, their girlfriends still saw around all the face masks on January 6th.
Okay. Let's see what I get. Anonymous. They are a magician. They do have partnerships. Patience. They do want an end of a chapter. Bringing out truth and ideas. Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and Death. So they do want the old to go away. What's been going on. I think they are very connected. The high priestess is the future revealed, the wisdom, the magician having all kinds of tools, and Two of Cups with all kinds of partnerships and working together. They do have resources.
Mm-hmm.
I get the Star, Seven of Wands, and Ten of Pentacles. So I think they bring faith and hope and set up boundaries. So the out card, Four of Cups, this discontentment of what's going on. The Emperor, authority, power structure. Queen of Wands, feels like coming up with ideas, being assistance, but then I get Seven of Cups. It could be surprises, coming up with things, being creative. So this doesn't really say through a whole spread of that boom, they're going to do anything. It almost feels more like wishful thinking.
It almost sounds like a bunch of high school kids playing, but not really taking seriously what they may know.
It feels like they're all talk and no action.
So
as a group and their message, yes, they do want change. They do want better for the universe, better for the people. But I just don't get any pentacles with taking actions. They do want down with the Emperor. They want stable. But then the Four of Cups is like discontentment and boredom. You know, reassessing things. But then Seven of Cups is like fantasy, delusions, wishful thinking. We can't take it down. So yeah, it feels more of that.
They like to wear their little masks and run around and say they're these things, but
do I think they could do something? I think they have hacked. I do sense they I think they have an ability. I don't sense they have knowledge of how the election was stolen or how they did, you know. I just don't see it happening. Can you draw one card to clarify? Randomly draw one card. Just cut the deck, however. Will Anonymous.
I got strength.
I get Eight of Cups.
I got strength. I got an 8 too. I got strength. So
Eight of Cups is leaving the past behind, abandoning, withdrawal. I think it's more illusion, delusion.
yeah, we're living in a world of smoke and mirrors. And if you watch a good astrologer, they're explaining to you that nothing what you're seeing right now is what you're really seeing. It's Neptune, it's Pluto.
Yeah, the weird thing is the real hackers are probably in Iran or Israel.
Yeah, and they're taking their, and I don't even know.
China.
Yeah, China, I would think would be more likely. Somebody thought I was lovely. Thank you very much, kind lady. It's a Sunday morning, and I did rest yesterday because I was not feeling well. I'm got a lot of work on my table I need to get done.
Yeah, I generally relaxed and watched some college basketball.
What? You're in the wrong house.
Our whole family gets in a pool, so we're all like, who's going to win?
Oh, yeah, well, when you got money on the line, I remember those days.
It's not big money, yeah, just for fun, but we're in the little pools. Okay. Lorraine says, you're lovely. Oh,
no, thank you. I try hard.
Yeah. Anonymous is more of a Nigerian prince.
Yes.
All right. Let's bring out some inspiration before we get to 2 hours. Oh, who do I have? I picked Auburn. Auburn to win it all.
Oh, we're in March Madness, aren't we?
Yeah, March Madness.
Got it.
Inspiration cards to the week. How we can do things.
Okay, I'm going to pull an inspiration card from Radley Valentine's Oracle deck. For those of you who are interested, I will be doing a spiritual readings tomorrow with Terry at 10 o'clock on this channel. Terry from Holding Your Space. And I know we have a topic, and I can't remember what it is. Terry, what are we talking about tomorrow?
Yep, dude. Oh, yeah. Arkansas is doing awesome. Surprise. President Obama picked Duke. Duke's a good choice.
Oh, nobody's going to like this after what we talked about today. After the day is you're ready for more. And that reads, your career is growing and blossoming. Now is the time to make the changes you've been contemplating. So things are just changing around us. That's what I get off that card. And my second card is, oh, now we need this one. You are protected. She's got angel wings around her, guys. You're safe within my bubble of light. You can proceed with confidence. So when you think the world's getting a little bit touchy, call on Archangel Michael. He's good for that. And Archangel Michael's a universal archangel. He doesn't care what your faith is.
Yeah. Michael's my go-to. You want a quick fix? I just ask for Michael. Come on down. Help me out.
Yeah, or ask him to come down and ask him to take his sword above and below, to the left, to the right, to the front, to the back, and ask him to swing his big sword of truth, and he will cut all kinds of connections and power cords that have been attached to you. So if someone's trying to get at you, he can help you with that.
Blessings, Lorraine. You brighten our day by showing up. Okay. I think we're in that 10 of Swords time.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's worried. Difficult situations. Heavy weight on our shoulders. But we need to end that. Stop. We got to stop our best to take action. Find the truth. Let things slide. The next two are both aces.
Mm-hmm.
Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. Be fearless. Be happy in your pursuits. And then the Ace of Winter, the Ace of Swords would be like, don't be deterred. Amazing new ideas, peaceful protest, writing letters to your senators or whoever in a positive way, not being like, I hate you, even though that's what we'd like to do, but do something. I rely on this, whatever it is, but have those amazing new ideas and positive energy instead of being so worried.
Well,
that'll be the down of us.
We spent years trying to teach you how to do the secret, get that fulfillment in your brain and hold on to it and clutch onto it. Well, just the same thing happens if you hold on to bad stuff. So if you hold in your mind all the horrible, this is going to happen, this is going to be awful, and that's never going to happen, and blah, 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 then you're holding in and you're manifesting bad shit, bad stuff. And I was reading to Scott, I had a vision when I was putting the garden together, and it was, when you get to the throat chakra, the vision I had was being caught in a contest we couldn't get out of. And I was paired with a guy who was useless. We were told that a little 11-year-old kid was going to be able to give us the information on how to get out. And the woman who was running the contest that was supposed to help us get out was running around in a 1950s Betty Crocker apron with apples all over it. And when I finally escaped from the room, I realized I had to get out on my own. No more, no more Big Daddy's going to help us. No more Mueller. No more Smith. No more anything else. We have to be responsible for our own actions to get us out of here. Don't trust that nasty little inner child you've been told you have. I'm not a great believer in inner children. And the other one is, and Big Mama's useless too because she's stuck in the 50s. We have to get rid of all those archetypes and walk out on our own and face what's going on. That's where we are.
Yeah.
And that helps us.
The people need to stand together because the legal system and the obstruction from Republicans not doing the right thing have put us to where we are right now.
Guys, and you're going to have a long wait if you're going to wait for some of them. But I think once they attack the old, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but once they attack the old people and take away Social Security, it's not just the old people when they do that. We buy a lot of stuff, you know, and merchants aren't going to like it if we don't have any money. I mean, there's going to be a lot of other pushback on them.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I'm starting 2 new tarot classes, April 16th and the 19th. One's a Wednesday night, one's a Saturday afternoon. Scott says, I don't understand how you can read that fast. Come take my class and you will learn. Scott won't take my class. He could come learn. Actually, Scott's got his own pattern and his own set of guides. And he thinks about things a lot more than I do. But if you would like to come learn about tarot, Jeffrey and I are teaching it again.
Cool. Yeah, someone mentioned earlier, I can't remember who it was, but took your class or something and said it's very informative and awesome. And
that was Donna Scott. She's taken the class. And
Donna? Okay.
She said she learned a lot. And it's for beginners, middle people, or you can be even have been here for a long time and in this world. It's a whole new perspective.
Jen 100% recommends it.
Yep. She took it too.
Oh, thank you.
And we're both awesome.
I appreciate you.
Scott would teach classes, but you'd have to learn how to drive a truck first.
Yeah. Yeah, I have my pattern. I've tried, you know, like try to get it quick, you know, like you do, but this doesn't work.
Well, if you read at table and the amount of money you made was dependent on how many people you could get across that table, you learn how to read quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
I seem to need to feel the energy and then feel the cards, and then the guides say stop. And and then I get the best information properly when I do a full spread, not just 5 cards or whatever.
Oh, so yeah, if I do
a
cross or Spirit 7 or some of the other readings I do, the longer readings, yeah. But I'm not going to do those here because some person's really interested in that question. There's somebody who had 1-5 up that doesn't care. Although we all care about each other.
That's what we're here for.
So Sean's race is over after the 1st of April, and we can have him back on.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I voted early here in Wisconsin. There were things on there I didn't even know were on there.
Of course there are.
I didn't look up who's on the ballot. I just thought it was 2 races and a referendum.
Yeah, that's why before you vote, go to Ballotpedia and look up what's on your ballot, because these are the elections where they try to sneak in all the things you think, how bad could that be? Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah. There was village president on the ballot. We never heard about any of it that she was on there, or there was 2 people running for village president.
Do you know them so you can sort of make a decision?
Like I told my Nancy, I go, if you don't know who's running, safest bet, pick the female. So that's what I did. I picked the female.
Unless it's Kristi Noem, in which case you might get an animal killer.
No, true. But we're in a Democrat area. I don't think we would have gone bad by either one, but Nancy hasn't voted yet, so I told her look up who's running because I didn't have a clue.
Yeah, and if there are small elections, well, this is not small because it's your Supreme Courts and the balance, but if there are elections around you, go vote in every election. The patterns right now, if we keep sending the message, and I think we're going to have good messages after the first weekend in April. If we send good messages that the Dems are out in force, that gives people more faith. People are like, well, if you're so good, how come you can't win? Well, in Texas, we can't win because you draw all of us in one time. They either pack us into all of us into one district, or they break us up and crack. They crack us out into. There's some legislators here they get a little bit of Dallas, which is very Democratic, and then it spreads across 10 counties in East Texas. So,
Yeah, that's the problem with some Republican areas. You can get a Harriet Hagerman in Wyoming or MTG.
MTG is another phenomenon. MTG is, I used to have a tarot deck called the Hillbilly deck, and the Empress in it was the farmer's daughter, and the card looks just like MTG. She's like the farmer's daughter, and they understand that, and she swears a lot, and she upsets, for people who are supposedly God-fearing and Christian worshiping, she's not the person I pick.
Oh, good Lord.
But
I know we've read for you a few times, but thank God you took advice there.
well, right now, the other thing is this is happening, and there's no way to escape it, and it's not because of Trump. We're under an incredible solar burst. We've had 3 of them, and they keep going up each day. And the sun's poles are changing, and it does all kinds of wacky stuff to it. I'm such a nerd. I watch the sun's weather report, and right now it's really bad. It's really, and this is the sort of thing, and all the planets are lined up kind of opposite each other, and that triggers off earthquakes and other things.
That's right. There was something about earthquakes. Yeah, they're present. I forgot I wanted to look at that, but yeah, there was an earthquake question, but they are present.
They are.
They will be happening.
We have a lot of volcanoes that are just about to really blow big time. Right. So
I know, right, Kathy D? My daughters are farmers' daughters, and they're not bad girls.
They're not bad girls. I'm talking about the hillbilly image of the farmer's daughter.
Right. Well, bless you too.
You can't pick on farmers.
Oof. Should I take a tiny bit out of the bank?
I wouldn't worry. That's somebody trying to cause a run on the banks. I wouldn't worry about that.
I don't think you're gonna have a problem with the banks, but because of chaos going on, a lot of people are recommending have a little cash on hand. I don't think you should take a bunch out or anything.
If I took all the money out of my bank, all I'd have was a little cash on hand. So. You'd not begging for donations.
You'd have enough for groceries. Yeah, don't worry about the banking system. I think you're gonna be okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah. So we're gonna let you go. It's already 1:50.
Okay. Yeah.
Day.
Go have a good day.
And blessings to everyone else.
And y'all are a godsend to us. You make me get up on Sunday morning.
What's a little? A couple $100 is a little. Enough to have, get gas if the credit card system's down or whatever, That's about it. Anyway, have a blessed day.
Bye-bye, day. Have a good week.